Hi class, welcome to week 6. It's Tuesday, the 12th of February, and it is snowing like no other outside. But we are in week 6 in Capstone. So you guys started your teams last week. You're also through your first year of the simulation at this point. So this semester, or this week, there is a discussion forum again. Next week will be your last discussion forum, and then you'll be done. And then for the simulation this week, you need to do 2 quarters worth of decisions. So decision number 6 and 7. The due dates for those are posted in your simulation site, so you can see when those are due. Because you're doing 2 quarters this week, you will have 2 portfolios and decision logs that need to be completed. Those will be quarter 5 and quarter 6. Make sure you're attaching your log with those as well. When you guys are doing your log of decisions, you need to make sure that you're not just copying and pasting each quarter, but that you also have each 5 sections clearly identified on those. So it should say operations and then list your operations decisions. It should say marketing, list your marketing decisions. And you should have research to support all of those. It should be a 1 to 2 page log for each quarter. So quite a few of you are struggling with those. The other area on those that seems to be a struggle is the works cited page. So if you are not familiar with MLA formatting or what your works cited page should look like, you're going to need to look that up so that you get it in proper format. We also have the Writing Center on campus, so you can go to the Writing Center and get assistance with those. There's also the online option, so seek out those writing instructors to help you to enhance that. Other things with your logs or your written summaries that you need to work on is make sure you're using your business terminology. You don't want to say, oh, I was in the hole this quarter. No, you had a net loss this quarter. So little things like that can enhance your writing, and it demonstrates that you actually know what you're talking about related to the business terminology that you guys have learned about for the last 2 to 3 years, depending on how long you've been in the program. So make sure you're doing those. Other things that you need to complete, there's a special decision related to the problem employee as well as a purchasing policy for quarter 6 and quarter 7. You also want to make sure that you guys are doing quite well in the simulation. Next week will be the last week for the simulation decisions that you need to make. Moving on from simulation, you guys have the business plan. So you guys formed your teams last week. You did team contracts. You did your first section of the business plan. This week, you should be working on section 1. As you guys were doing your Gantt charts, you probably realized you had to start a few other sections earlier in order to complete all of the sections on time. And some you have to wait, and you can't start those until other areas are completed. So this week is marketing section 1. Don't forget to look at those templates. Look at the business plan folder for examples if you need help with those. Each section should have a heading that matches with the grading rubric. So the first one was 2.0, business vision and description, and then 2.1, 2.2, and the subheadings underneath that. This one will be 3.0 marketing. And then you'll have the subheadings underneath that. That will make sure that everything's lined up, ready to go for your final as you guys put together this business plan. So access the business plan resources this week. Make sure that you do the marketing section 1. You guys are going to need to develop your marketing survey this week so that you can actually go out, conduct that survey, gather the primary data, and then use that for one of your later sections of your business plan. So you need to get that done, get feedback on that survey, and then distribute that ASAP. You're not going to want to put that survey out and collect data until you get feedback, because if you have some questionable questions on there, or they're not reading clearly, or they slightly make people respond to the answer in a certain way, you're going to have to redo the whole survey. So you're going to need to wait until you get some feedback on those. So those are the assignments for week 6. If you guys have any questions, please reach out and let me know. I'll be going through and grading business plans this week. You guys have feedback on your first 3 quarters for sure of your simulation material. So you should have at this point a good understanding where you've made a few mistakes, what you've done really well. So continue doing the really well stuff, read that feedback, go in and make sure that you're correcting those so that you don't continue to lose points. Business plans, those I'll get to this week as well. I'll give very detailed feedback on those. Usually for submissions, you guys just aren't quite grasping the expectations, let's say. I kind of see that every term. So after you get the feedback on that first section, it'll really show quite a difference. I did peek at a couple that were submitted and they actually looked really good. So I'm hopeful that you guys have a better grasp at it with all the examples, that we're not going to have a ton of areas where you missed out completely. So look for that feedback, go through it. If you have questions, again, just reach out. Otherwise, stay warm, stay safe, try not to travel. There's a lot of snow out there, and have a great rest of the week.